We got this story from CNN. Ooh, CNN. Ron DeSantis signals support for stripping Disney of special self-governing status as feud escalates.
Good.
Because apparently the only Republicans who actually do anything are in Florida.
Yeah, it's weird.
So basically, Disney has this a special thing going back to 1967, a state law that established the Reedy Creek Improvement District, giving Disney the power to establish its own government in Central Florida. He basically said, you know what? Why should we have companies that have this special privilege, right? Which is a smackdown because DeSantis said Disney went too far. I think Disney did go too far because after the backlash, well, let me slow down. Disney refused to call out the parental rights and education bill, which the left calls "Don't Say Gay," which makes no sense because that doesn't even make sense. And so they refused to do anything. Disney employees walked out. Some of them got arrested for child sex trafficking, whole other story, but around the same time, mind you. And then Disney decided they were going to be like, oh, okay. Yeah, we oppose that bill and we're going to see it defeated in the courts. And then DeSantis is all like, yo, what does Disney have to do with the people passing legislation?
Yeah.
That's gone too far. Now you got Republicans saying they're going to be going after Disney and stripping away their rights. And good. I'm loving it because these leftists, Abigail Disney, actually, she's the grand niece of Walt Disney himself. She's the granddaughter of Roy Disney, who's co-founder. And she was saying, like, these far-right groups are trying to rule by minority, and they're saying insane things, referencing Chris Rufo and all that. But she says, I'm happy to see the right finally going after the business sector that's for so long propped them up or whatever. And I'm just sitting here watching, like, you know.
Did she think Disney propped the right up?
Well, these companies are all woke. That's why I'm like, what do you think's going on?
Yeah.
The institutions are all woke, leftists, critical race theory, etc. The right has not been supported by CNN. I mean, look, let's just say starting in 2015. How about that? But we know it goes back further.
Yeah, I think, well, I'm a little bit torn because as an anarchist, I like the idea of a company being able to have its own government within its own jurisdiction. But I am ecstatic that if either of the political parties, and hopefully both, alienate from corporate America, which has historically been, I think to a large extent, you have these kind of Chamber of Commerce, Mitt Romney Republicans have been a thing in the Republican Party, especially after like Republicanism was defeated by FDR. You kind of had these, weak Republicans who were kind of like, suburban shop owner, middle of the road kind of types. And they kind of made apologies for corporations just doing really unconscionable things. So the fact that Republicans at all are coming to understand, which many Democrats for a long time understood, that corporations are not your friend, that if a corporation were a human being, that person would be a sociopath. And the more distance there is between politics and corporate America, the healthier it is for everyone involved, including corporate America.
I think corporations could also be likened to the Borg.
Oh, yeah.
So, I like to point out the Borg in Star Trek is like communist. They're this collective that just grow and expand. I think that's a better way to view it because it is a system of governance the Borg it operates in. But corporations are not too dissimilar in that they absorb other companies, they grow, expand, they're authoritarian and single-minded.
Yeah, profit is their motive.
I worked for Disney as a temp for their Pocahontas premiere in the park in Central Park. And speaking of the Borg, they had like a dress code. You couldn't have piercings. You couldn't have like dyed hair. Like there was a very specific list of things about your appearance that you had to have, even just working for that one day for them.
Where was it? Disney World or
Central Park? They had Pocahontas, the movie, had the premiere in the park was a thing. Showing my age.
I don't know all about this. It just seems so weird that any corporation would have its own government on U.S. soil. That doesn't seem right to me. So
it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very, very strange.
So it's similar in Anaheim with what is it, Disneyland or whatever? I don't know. World is in Florida.
World's in Florida and Orlando.
Yeah.
And so when people were rioting down in Anaheim over, I think it was a BLM thing or something like that, like the police came out in force more than I'd seen in most places. And it's because, well, now you're coming after a major corporation and their corporate profits. Yeah. So once the rioters and protesters started getting close to this bridge that brought them close to Disneyland or whatever, the cops just went off. They had bokken. You know what a bokken is? Mm-mm. It's like a wooden katana, and they were on horseback with bokken.
What? Where the cops get those from?
I don't know.
Japan,
but
man.
Like the Mulan exhibit.
It was a weird thing to see cops on horseback with bokken. But it was also kind of cool. I'm like, these are like samurai warriors, I guess. It's the weirdest thing to me. I don't know if they actually hit anybody with them, but that's what they're for. They're for striking people.
I got a prediction. I think that this is going to go to the courts or do whatever. Disney's going to fight it for a while. Then they're going to agree and be like, okay, whatever. And then they're going to start lobbying other states and be like, who wants Disney World? and then California is going to take it. You don't think so?
I mean, the cost of moving that thing would be insane. I disagree, and I think it's more that they have to publicly make a show of fighting it, but then if they lose, they could be like, well, we did what we could.
Yeah.
So a lot of these corporations don't have the spines. They'll like any person will take as much space as you give them, but as soon as you put your foot down, they're more than happy to kind of roll over like a dog and you put it on its back.